Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about fretboard or fingerboard oils for stringed instruments, in this case guitars. So I have two fretboards handy here. One of them has never had any oil on it. It's from this kit guitar that I built, and that fretboard I've scraped and everything because it showed up in pretty rough shape. It's not dirty per se, except for some dust and stuff that we're going to clean off, but it's never had anything on it. So it's pretty dry and it needs kind of the full treatment, if you will. And then this one is off of a Squire Stratocaster. It's pretty much brand new. It's never really been played. So this fretboard's in very good condition, has probably been oiled from the factory. It looks like it has. And we're gonna test these fretboard oils out on both of those. So the four contenders for today are, first of all, your kind of classic Dunlop Ultimate Lemon Oil. Second, normal lemon oil, which is much cheaper on a per volume basis than this Dunlop stuff. So we'll see if there's actually any difference there. Now those lemon oil is kind of gross. Some people like it. It's a bit carcinogenic. It smells kind of funny. It's not great. So we'll see what else we've got available here. This is fingerboard oil made by Behlen. Now they sent me this for free to test out. And this, there's a fretboard finish and fretboard and finish cleaner. Sorry, a cleaner that I'm going to use on that guitar. And then this is the fretboard restorative oil from Crimson Guitars. They also sent me this for free to test out. So we're going to compare these four. I'm just going to do the first 12 frets on each of these fretboards. With these, I'm going to do, well, obviously 3 frets in each of them. I'll just keep it sequential, and we'll see how they look. So let's bring the camera in closer here, get a good look at these fretboards, clean the first one, and then see what we're dealing with. All right, so for starters, we're just going to get this fretboard cleaned up. Now, there's only one cleaner in the group. Excuse me, let me just move that over a little. There's only one cleaner in the group. That's not really what we're comparing here, but because the Crimson oil kind of comes with this cleaner, I figured I might as well demo it. You might be able to see from there. Let me see if I can give you a better view. This fretboard's a little grimy, a little bit dusty, just because it's been in the shop for its entire life. So let's give that a try. That smells a bit like Lemon Pledge. Actually smells really good. And yeah, you can see it's pulling off some gunk for sure. So, I mean, you can use any number of things to clean a fretboard, really. I generally use solvents, but I get the feeling that this stuff is easier on your fretboard than those are. Now, I don't know how it compares when it comes to removing oil and gunk from your fingers. That's not really the purpose of this video, so we're not going to bother testing that. But at first glance, this appears to work quite well. Now, let's move on to our oils. Let me see if there's a way I can get both of these necks in the frame. Here we go. So we've got the one that really needs some work, and then that's not working very well, is it? I really shouldn't have to figure out how I'm gonna film something while I'm filming it. My apologies. All right, the one that doesn't need as much. Let's start with the normal lemon oil. Now, when you buy this, it doesn't say anything about fretboards. That is one main distinction between this and the other ones. It just says lemon oil. So, is it any good for fretboards? Well, I'll spoil the surprise. It is. It works fine. Works just like any other lemon oil. So let's try it out. What we're looking for is a little bit of a shine so that the fretboard looks like it's kind of been rehydrated. This one's looking pretty dry, particularly since I just cleaned it. And I said, what did I say? I was going to do 3 frets each. So let's do our first 3 frets in this on each of these guitars and see what we're dealing with here. And by our first 3, I mean from 12 down. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe some on this one because it's never been oiled, is absorbing it fairly well. So I'm not going to bother wiping that off, any excess off of there. I actually don't think it's going to be necessary on either of them. If you get a bunch of extra buildup, you're going to want to wipe it off. That doesn't appear to be the case here. I'll give you a kind of a close-up look afterward, but for starters, you can see that those three have that oil on them and the rest don't here. All right, so let's move on to the more, specific one. This is the Dunlop Ultimate Lemon Oil. I'm just going to close up that other lemon oil because it smells disgusting. The Dunlop one, I've tested these two. Hate to spoil the surprise. I've tested these two side by side before, and the difference that I've been able to deduce here is that this one has this pad, so you can flip it over and apply it like that. Comes out quicker. You have less control over it, but it is convenient, so that's nice. Aside from that, I haven't found any difference between this one and the other one. Also, this pad doesn't allow you to get in close to the frets, so you can do kind of a nice little strip down the middle of each, but if you want to be able to get the entire surface, you have to go in with a cloth anyway. I'm not sure if they made any modifications to the lemon oil to make it more appropriate for fretboards or anything like that. I haven't seen anything that would give me that impression, but they might have. I mean, they might have done that, or they might just be selling lemon oil for a lot more expensive than lemon oil normally is because it's in a Jim Dunlop bottle. I don't know. I don't really want to speculate either. So that brings us to our other two. So, I mean, so far, I can't really tell you that one is better than the other. They both look the same, and I'll show you that that Dunlop one really does put out quite a bit of product, though. I might have to wipe off some excess here. Can't really tell you that one's better than the other. They both look the same to me so far. What I can tell you again is that on a per volume basis, you're going to find normal lemon oil to be more efficient. However, if you've only got one guitar, that's a lot of lemon oil. That's more than you're really going to need for one. So maybe it's cheaper for you to buy the Dunlop version instead, because I don't think you can buy the normal lemon oil in that smaller container. All right, let's try the Crimson guitars. So first off, it shouldn't really matter because they are just natural oils. They're not finishing oils or anything like that. But this comes in a stainless steel bottle. That is nice. That's a nice feature. If it were a finishing oil, that would be a huge bonus because it would mean that it's not going to degrade and eat away at the plastic and you won't have to replace it as quick. With these natural kind of fretboard oils, it's not as big a deal because there's not a whole lot to them in terms of chemicals. But still, metal container, bonus as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to do frets 3 through 6 here. First thing I'm noticing is that this does not smell gross like the lemon oil did. So I don't really, I mean, that's a positive for me. But that's one of the main things that they say, or that Ben over at Crimson Guitars says is a bonus on this, is it's not as gross as lemon oil. It's not as carcinogenic. It's more natural. It's probably mostly mineral oil if I had to guess. And I do have to guess because I don't have the recipe. So, doesn't smell as bad. I don't know, it's tough to tell because this is now fresher than the other oil, but it does appear to be sitting on the surface a little more. That might mean that it's slightly thicker, might mean that it's doing a better job protecting it, or it might mean that it's just not soaking in as well and thus not doing as good a job of hydrating it. Kind of hard to tell. We'll give it a minute. Give it a minute and see how it looks compared to the other two. So that's the Crimson Guitars Fretboard Restorative. And then finally, the Behlen Fingerboard Oil. Take a fresh part of this fresh cloth here. Okay, so this, I don't know what that smells like. It doesn't smell like lemon oil at all. It doesn't smell as strong as lemon oil either. Let me see here. Great for rosewood, flammable. I don't know. I don't smell it really, but if I put my nose real close to it, what does that smell? I don't know. It doesn't smell toxic. Sorry, I'm being indecisive here. I don't have a very good sense of smell. Let's see how it performs. All right, so right off the bat, this stuff, how many times have I said right off the bat in this video? This stuff is a little bit thinner than the others. What, did I lie to you just then? I lied to you. Okay, these first 3 frets are just really, really dry and needed some oil. It seems like it might be a little bit thinner. The smell is very familiar, but I can't tell what it is. It does not smell like a solvent. Oh no, I was right. It is a little bit thinner. This stuff soaks in faster than the other ones do, so far. So I don't know if it's going on drier. I don't know if it's soaking into my cloth more or to the fretboard more, but both of those would indicate that this is a slightly thinner product. I think this may be designed for fretboards on violins and stuff as well, because it's called fingerboard oil, which is what you call it on a violin. But it's good for rosewood and ebony apparently. That's beautiful. That's got a beautiful shine to it. You just, if you keep working it, it does build up. It does build up nicely. And it will dry and soak in, I presume, just like the others. So on the new fretboard, you can see all the ones that I didn't apply anything to, and then we move to the lemon oil that's just drying now. Then the Crimson Guitars oil, which is still sitting on the surface a little bit, still drying. And then on to the Behlen. Yes, those are working quite nicely. On the other fretboard, the lemon oil has already started to dry out quite a bit. You actually can't really tell that it's on there for all of those, in fact, except the very last one that I put some on, but that's because it's managed to trap some gunk on there, which I guess I didn't clean off well enough. And then as we move down, the Crimson oil and the Behlen oil are still sitting on top and seem to be doing a nice job, but they've been applied more recently. So I'm gonna give this 5 minutes and we'll come back and see how it looks. All right guys, so here are those 2 fretboards after it's been about 5 minutes. So let's take a closer look here. So for starters, this is the one that needed more work. And here's where we started with our generic lemon oil. And then we moved on to our Jim Dunlop through to here. Then beginning here, you might be able to see a difference there. We moved on to the Crimson oil and then the Behlen. Okay, so those actually, well, I think you can probably see the difference. So I'm not going to tell you which one I prefer. What I will say is that I don't like the lemon oil very much because of the smell and the fact that it seems kind of gross to me, and that the Crimson oil is a little thicker, the Behlen is a little thinner. Now let's move on to the other fretboard. Kind of same area here. We've got generic lemon oil, Dunlop oil, Crimson, and Behlen. So this one already had a fresh oil job on it. You honestly can't really tell the difference between the area that I didn't touch today and the area that I threw some lemon oil on. You might be able to tell a little bit where the other 2 are, just because they seem to have a greater effect, as you may have noticed down here. They were also applied slightly more recently, but like I said, it's been like 5 or 10 minutes now, so I don't think that that's the issue. All in all, like I said, I'm not a fan of the lemon oil. Crimson is thicker, Behlen's thinner. this seems a little bit self-serving because, like I said before, they sent me those to try. But obviously I prefer those two. I'm not sure which of them. I think I actually like the smell of the Behlen stuff. But the smell's not really a reasonable thing to go on here. But yeah, those two are good. I'm not going to, not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy to see that they're outperforming the lemon oil as far as how they're affecting the fretboard. I didn't really want to come on here and be like, well, look, they suck, sorry guys. But they don't. They seem to be doing quite well, much better than the lemon oil, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, that's about it. That's how they perform. Well, there you have it, the 4 fretboard / fingerboard oils compared to each other. And you saw the close-up, you saw how I applied them, and yeah, nothing has changed in the last couple minutes. So there it is. If you have any questions about any of these, let me know. And I'll probably put links to the Behlen website and the Crimson Guitars website in the description. The Jim Dunlop stuff you can find at any music store, generally. It's pretty standard. And the circa 1850 or whatever it was, the normal lemon oil, I got from Home Depot. So a hardware store would probably be the most logical place to look for something like that. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know. I hope you found the video informative or useful or entertaining or something. I hope there's you got something from it. And as always, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.